Good morning and welcome to 755 Live, about 5 minutes of what Jesus said. You can find a different command of Jesus every weekday at our Bible plan, bible.today.church. Would encourage you to check that out. If these little segments about what Jesus said are meaningful to you, if they're helpful and you enjoy them, it will really help if you'll share, comment, and that sort of thing. It just really helps us get the word out. Today's Jesus said is from Luke 12:33 through 34. Jesus said, sell some stuff and give to the poor. What he said in Luke 12:33 and 34, sell your possessions. That word possessions is important. And give to those in need. This will store up treasure for you in heaven. And the purses of heaven never get old or develop holes. Your treasure will be safe. No thief can steal it, and no moth can destroy it. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. Jesus said, sell some stuff and give to the poor. But I think it's important that we realize that he said, sell your possessions. That word literally means those things that you hang on to, your wealth. And then he wrapped this up by saying, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart is. And I believe this is a principle, not just to sell everything that you have, but it is a principle not to put anything above God and to be prepared to be generous, especially with extra stuff, especially with things that you're holding on to that are the desires of your heart. We see this command literally played out in the second chapter of Acts, in Acts 2:45, where the early church sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. Now, did they all go homeless? Absolutely not. I mean, they were meeting daily in the temple and house to house. And so I think the principle here is selling those things that are extra, selling those things that possess us, to be prepared to give up, to let go of anything that we don't need. And, we have such a tendency to just hang on to stuff, tendency to collect more and more. But Jesus said that we should be prepared and willing to sell and give to the poor. That should be who we are. That should be our identity. And we see that played out in the early church in Acts as they shared and they had all things in common. We are working toward, as a church, having a possessions cell where we're going to just gather extra stuff and sell and give to those who are in need. I think it's important that we put our money where our mouth is, quite literally. We should be showing a heart of generosity. The Apostle Paul, who hardly ever minced words, he said in Ephesians 4:28, he said, if you're a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for good, hard work, and then give generously to others in need. I think that's the same principle that Jesus was talking about here, where we should be able to give up the things that we possess and realize that what God has given us is so that we can bless others. And if we have that kind of treasure, that's a heavenly treasure that doesn't change if the stock market crashes. It doesn't change no matter what happens. And so that's the kind of generosity that Jesus was teaching, a generosity that sells your extra stuff and gives to those in need. Do we have that kind of heart of generosity? Do we have that kind of willingness to obey what Jesus said? I think that's something that we can not only think about, but take action on. How can I be ridiculously generous today? Jesus said, sell some stuff and give to the poor. How can we put that into action?